As the Minister said, we're very focused on Syria, very focused on the opportunity that now is before us and before the Syrian people to move from out from under the shackles of Bashar al-Assad to a different and better future for the Syrian people, one that the Syrian people decide for themselves. And we talked about how Turkey, how the United States, how other partners in the region can support those efforts. And I think there's broad agreement on what we would each like to see going forward, starting with the interim government in Syria, one that is inclusive and non-sectarian, one that protects the rights of minorities and women, one that preserves institutions of the state and delivers services to the people, one that deals with any chemical weapons it may find to secure them and appropriately destroy them, one that rejects any alliances with extremist groups, and, of course, one that does not pose any kind of threat to any of Syria's neighbors. There is, I think, growing consensus on what many of us would like to see, because it's the best way to realize the aspirations of the Syrian people. It's also the best way to ensure that what emerges in Syria gets the support and recognition that it wants from the international community, and which it very much needs after so many years of dictatorship, of conflict, of corruption, of isolation. We also discussed the imperative of continuing the efforts to keep ISIS down. Our countries worked very hard and gave a lot over many years to ensure the elimination of the territorial caliphate of ISIS, to ensure that that threat doesn't rear its head again, and it's imperative that we keep at those efforts. Finally, as the Minister said, we discussed Gaza, and we discussed, I think, the opportunity to finally try to complete the hostage ceasefire agreement, to get the hostages home, to get a ceasefire in place. And what we've seen in the last couple of weeks are more encouraging signs that that is possible. And in my discussions with President Erdogan and with Minister Fadan, we talked about the imperative of Hamas saying yes to the agreement that's possible to finally help bring this to an end. And we appreciate very much the role that Turkey can play in using its voice with Hamas to try to bring this to conclusion. We'll be pursuing these conversations tomorrow in Jordan, in Aqaba, with many of our Arab partners. And again, I think you're seeing countries coming together throughout the region, Turkey, Arab countries, as well as partners like the United States, all in support of the Syrian people, of taking advantage of this moment of opportunity to see Syria move in a much different direction, one that finally reflects the will of the Syrian people. Thank you.